This is the story of the mysterious happenings of the Oasis Motel, a mystery that has gone unsolved for over 50 years. Unexplained drownings in the town of Rockville. And all these drownings happened at the Oasis Motel. But first, if you're a fan of mysteries and crime told in story format, please subscribe to this channel. We will be uploading new stories each week. Since 1970, the small town of Rockville was buzzing with tourists. And the motel that stood in the heart of the town was the place to be for vacationers looking for a peaceful getaway. The motel, known as the Oasis, had a large pool with crystal-clear waters that attracted visitors from all over. However, little did they know, the pool held a mystery that has yet to be unraveled. Over the years, there had been an unusual amount of drownings in this specific pool. There was about one drowning every 5 years at the Oasis Motel. Up until now, police and investigators have not come up with anything unusual as to why so many have lost their lives in this one specific pool. But this mystery is about to take a dramatic turn. Something very strange has happened recently at the motel, and this may help solve the 50-year-old mystery. The owner of the motel, Mr. Johnson, was a stern and strict man. He ran the business since 1970, and he ran it with an iron fist and made sure that the guests followed every rule. There was one strange rule that kind of stood out from the rest, and this rule no one dared to question. The rule was that the pool was off-limits after 9 p.m. Mr. Johnson had warned the guests that anyone caught swimming in the pool after hours would face severe consequences. He was very stern about this rule and had signs posted all around the motel. But this past summer, a group of teenagers from out of town came to stay at the Oasis Motel. And despite the warnings and rules, the teenagers decided to sneak into the pool after dark. They were looking for some adventure, and the thought of breaking the rules excited them. They were careful not to make any noise as they approached the pool area. They were drinking and had a few giggles, but nothing that was out of the normal for teenagers. They were just hoping to not alarm Mr. Johnson. But everything was about to change. As they were having a good time, one of the girls noticed something strange at the bottom of the pool. It looked like a gold locket. She decided she was going to break the pool rules and dive in to take a closer look. She dove down and grabbed the locket. But before she was able to make it back to the surface, she started struggling, as if she was losing her ability to swim. Miraculously, she was able to grab the other teens and get pulled from the pool still holding the locket. She claimed some weird numbing feeling was making it hard for her to swim, and if not for the other teenagers, she most likely would have been the next victim of the mysterious pool. The teenagers just brushed off this mysterious happening as nothing more than just cramps. And they were thankful Mr. Johnson did not catch on to their pool adventure. The teens headed back to their room still in possession of the locket. The next day, as they were lounging by the pool, Mr. Johnson was close by. They questioned him about the locket they found. Mr. Johnson's face turned pale when he saw the locket. He refused to answer any questions and quickly left, leaving the group of friends bewildered. They were determined to find out the story behind the locket, and they started digging for information. No other residents currently staying at the motel claimed to be the owners of the locket. They soon realized that the locket had a tiny inscription on it: PM and HD, forever and always. The group of friends were puzzled and intrigued by this mysterious message. They decided to keep the locket and investigate who PM and HD were. The teenagers now decided to spend some time researching the history of Rockville and its residents. They went through old newspaper clippings, searched the town's archives, and even spoke to some of the oldest residents. Eventually, their hard work paid off when they stumbled upon the story of Patricia Miles and Henry Davis. According to the old newspaper article, Patricia and Henry were young lovers who had checked into the Oasis Motel in the summer of 1970. They were deeply in love and planned to elope that night. However, things did not go as planned that evening. Patricia mysteriously went missing, and Henry was found drowned in the motel's pool. This was the first ever incident at the Oasis Motel pool. That day and for months after, the police searched the property, but no evidence was ever found to determine what had happened to Patricia and as to why Henry drowned in the pool. The locket was never mentioned in the article, and the mystery surrounding its existence remained unsolved. While still at the Oasis Motel, the teenagers were sitting out by the pool, and there was an older man there named Robert Andrews. He said he has been working at the motel since the 70s. He says that he has seen this locket many times in Mr. Johnson's office throughout the years. He also says that Mr. Johnson would never tell him the significance of it. The teenagers decided to locate Patricia's family after assuming this could be her locket. They were able to get in touch with the family, and sure enough they were told this locket was a gift from Henry many years ago. The locket was so dear and special to her that she never took it off. They assured Patricia's family that they would get this locket back to them, so they could cherish her memory. It seems this case was starting to become increasingly suspicious. The teens decided that they should contact the police and have them look into why a missing person's locket was found in a pool some 50+ years later. The police reopened the case and obtained a search warrant for the office at the Oasis Motel. What they found in the office was quite shocking. They discovered a secret letter written by Mr. Johnson. But what was written in this letter was very alarming. Could this letter be something that could solve a 50-year-old mystery? The letter described how the owner, Mr. Johnson, had a fear of water, stemming from a tragic incident in his childhood. He had inherited the motel from his parents, and they had always warned him to stay away from the pool after 9 p.m. His parents had installed a timer switch to ensure the pool was closed at that time, but Mr. Johnson's paranoia caused him to take extreme measures. Also in this letter was something even more chilling. The letter described how Mr. Johnson had created a booby trap device out of the light inside the pool. He purposely created a bad connection that would shock people that entered the pool after 9 p.m. It would shock them just enough to immobilize them, making it impossible to swim. And this ultimately was causing those to drown, most importantly those who broke his 9 p.m. rule. The letter also stated he was responsible for the drowning of Henry, and also for Patricia going missing in 1970, and that he was the one who killed her for breaking his pool rule. He then used her locket as a lure. He would toss it in the Oasis pool every night for the next 50+ years at 9 p.m. This was his way of reprimanding anybody who broke his rule. The town of Rockville was shocked and saddened by the revelation, but they were glad to have solved decades-old mysteries. The police were able to link Mr. Johnson to 10 other drownings at the Oasis pool. He was sentenced to life in prison with no parole.